like no other. And also just this sense of power to know that that you really can defend yourself in a meaningful way. Some big old guy grabs you and puts you on the ground, is getting on top of you. Look, you know how to slip onto his back, put your hooks in and choke him out. Like it's an amazing sense of accomplishment, an amazing sense of power to know that you can do that. Especially somebody who doesn't train or doesn't train much, doesn't have that good a technique. So yeah, my advice to girls who want to get into this, just do it. Just walk in the door, sign up. I'm so happy that when I went into the gym for the first time that they were having that deal where you could sign up for the year and get the get a special price, because I really think that's the key is consistency. So if I had just trained for a month or two, I never would have, but I committed. I committed to the whole year, and then after that year, of course, there's no getting me away from it. I was completely addicted by that point. But yeah, just make the commitment to yourself. Again, habits are everything. Just get in the habit of going to the gym every day, going to the gym nightly, and just get your training in. Have make friends with your teammates, get to know people, be genuine. Martial arts in a lot of ways is very selfish. Of course, we have to be focused on ourselves and focused on our improvement, looking out for our own best interest, but also if what's the saying? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. In a lot of ways, it's very, very true when it comes to your teammates. You have to, of course, be a good teammate, take care of your teammates, and just have good relationships with them. That way, before and after class, you can ask people to drill with you, and they'll just really help you in your journey, help you get better, and encourage you when you're down, and maybe give you advice and feedback and things like that. Like, I'm so lucky that the very first day of jiu-jitsu I met this wonderful woman, Liz, Miss Liz Mitrovich, and she's we quickly became friends, and she's still my best friend today 11 years later. And yeah, if it hadn't been for her, like, probably so many times, like, maybe I wouldn't have stuck with it, but in the beginning, but yeah, she's just such a encouragement, inspiration for me. So yeah, just like bond with your teammates, and just enjoy the process. That's really the key. Just have fun. Don't be hard on yourself. Celebrate your small victories, and don't sweat the losses. Don't sweat the hard days. There were a lot of days in the beginning where I would leave the gym like in tears because I just got beat up so bad, and I was like, I suck at this. How am I ever gonna get good at this? But believe me, like, just stick with it. Like, you got to get through the hard parts of jiu-jitsu to really start reaping the rewards and picking the fruits of your labor. So, but yeah, just keep your head up, stay strong. Some days you're just working on your mental toughness, and that's it. You're just working on getting through it. And then, but things will start to click, things will start to make sense. Trust in your technique, trust in your training. And then when you hit that first submission, oh gosh. Like, I remember hitting my first armbar in jiu-jitsu, like that was my very first submission ever. I remember it like it was yesterday. Like, I managed to get to the mount position, and I kind of froze for a second. I was like, what do I do? I'm in mount. What do I do? And it went through my mind. I'm like, okay, armbar, do the armbar. I'm like 3 weeks into training at this point, right? I'm like, okay, armbar. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna isolate the arm. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna put my leg over the face. I'm gonna fall back. I'm like coaching myself through it in my mind, but I'm trying to do it like exactly the way that my instructor has shown. And then I did it, and then he tapped. And I'll never forget. This is such a jerk thing to do, but I didn't know it like back then. But he tapped, and I look right at him, and I'm like, did you tap for real, or did you let me have that? And he's like, no, you got me. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. And
That's
of
that's
course
the
that,
thing. That's the thing. That's the difference with men and women because guys often I hear guys don't go as hard when they train with women because we all, as we know, especially if a guy is well trained, you want to be careful. You don't want to hurt her. And sometimes when you get the guy in a position, you say, you know what, she's not squeezing me that hard, but it's annoying. But let me just tap out to make her feel good. But it's good that that you're proud of what you're doing, the work you put
yeah,
in, the time you put in. I often say like this. Sometimes, like anything, it's a process. And then once you understand the process, then you can trust the process. And it's good you have your friend that stands in your corner that helps you out and that trains with you and people you know. And it's tough. Like this is a question. Since you are a jiu-jitsu specialist, and a friend of mine often asks this, and I asked this to a lady a while back. She's not a jiu-jitsu fighter, but she has a jiu-jitsu white belt, but she is a bodybuilder. I asked her this question: How do you get out of a Kimura?
Well, it depends from where, but if I'm on, like, let's say, like when I pass half guard, a lot of times the person on bottom is gonna try to snatch up a Kimura on me. Like that's a really common tactic. Somebody like it's a defensive tactic to get that Kimura, and you either get the submission or you at least manage to roll them and then gain position on them. So yeah, as I'm passing half guard, a lot of guys will try to throw in a quick Kimura on that close side arm, and just posture up out of it. And then remember that anytime your arms are entangled in that way, if they have a Kimura on you, you also have a Kimura back. So if I posture up and separate their hands, then I can lock up my own Kimura and finish my own Kimura from the top half guard. But a lot of submission attempts, especially when you're the person on top and they're the person on bottom, you can get out of those attempts just by having good posture and awareness. Keep your elbows tight, keep your hands connected, especially when, in terms of the Kimura, because you can't get your limb isolated. If you keep your hands connected, then they're having to fight two limbs, not one. And then yeah, just posture. That's and it's funny because in jiu-jitsu, like a lot of answers, they are just really simple like that. But but it's about really, really having an awareness of those details. But yeah, jiu-jitsu at its core, it is simple. It's posturing, it's positioning, it's underhooks, it's just tight elbows, chin down, those kind of things will take you a really long ways in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Here's a comment from my man. Shout out to my man, KL. He says, do you have any off day from training? So, what's your training regimen like? And do you have some time off to get to relax and rest?
Yeah, so I take at least one rest day a week, so that's usually Sundays. But if I'm not feeling like beat up, if I feel like I still have a lot of energy, I like to go for a run or like a really hard bike ride. But I listen to my body. I'm very, very in tune with myself, and then also the Fitbit helps again because it shows me my recovery scores and what my heart rate variability is, my resting heart rate, and there's certain physical signs of stress that my body's going to show if it needs to rest. Like my resting heart rate will jump up or my HRV will lower. And if I haven't been getting good sleep that week, that's going to really affect my recovery. So again, a little lifestyle thing. You have to get a lot of sleep when you're pushing your body hard, when you're doing hard things, and especially when you're dieting too. Like it's important to get that good amount of sleep every night. But yeah, so normally at least one rest day a week, and if I feel like my body needs it, especially based on the data in my Fitbit, like I'll go ahead and just take a full rest day and not work out at all. I'll just make sure to take a full one. And then if I feel like I've been pushing extra hard that week and I need an extra rest day, then maybe I'll take 2 rest days. So maybe I'll take an extra rest day on Thursday or Friday. But I don't take more than 2 rest days a week. I'm still very disciplined in my training. The only time that I take significant time off is if I'm actually sick, okay? Because if I have germs, obviously I don't want to go to the gym and share them. That's not fair to the other people that are preparing for fights and pushing themselves. Like really, really selfish thing to do to go to the gym when you're sick. Don't go to the gym when you're sick. And also, it doesn't help you develop as an athlete. It doesn't help you get better. When you're sick, you need to stay home and just rest. Like your body is broken down. Like stop everything and just get better. And if you do stop everything and just take time off, look, usually you'll be better in 2 or 3 days. But if you continue to try to push through it, tough through it, just keep training, it's going to take like an entire week or week and a half, and your training's just going to suck the whole time. So no, just stay home and like stay in bed and chill. And it's hard. It's really hard. But yeah, when I'm sick, that's the only time. And then after a fight, if I took somewhat, like hard punches to the head, then I think it's important to at least take a full week off. And just let that head really recover because, and then don't spar for at least a month. Just take it easy with the brain damage. Brain damage is real. You have to watch it, of course. But then, we're also like built pretty tough, and look, one concussion or one significant strike to the head, like you will recover from that. But if you get a concussion and then 2 days later you get another concussion, and then 4 days later you get another concussion, that's when you start having serious issues with your health. So you do have to take that part seriously. But then otherwise, again, it's about habits, and so I never want to take more than 2 rest days a week because otherwise I start falling in bad habits and thinking like, oh, I'll just take one more rest day. Like no, I have to be disciplined and just continue in those good habits. And and I do enjoy what I do. I love it. So yeah, I'm not trying to stay home. I wanna always be in the gym anyway.
Yeah, yeah. You sound like you have a plan there, Joy. But you know what? My other guy says, I never have a plan. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I don't know what to do if I get one. And yeah, it's good to have that time because you know what? Concussions is very in any sport. There was a whole concussion issue with football years ago that changed the habits. With new helmets. We seen fighters. Remember when Joanna Jacek, when she fought Wally Jing that first fight? She looked like like aliens. If there will be others, that was a hematoma out of hell. And in a knockout, because some places have protocols. You don't let you fight for another maybe 3 to 6 months because you want to let you because there's only so much that the body and the brain can take when it comes to trauma. Because you've seen fighters who have dealt with some things like punch drunkenness, deal with mental issues. Sometimes, and especially don't get a regular checkup, like you see a urologist, not a urologist, that's a neurologist or any kind of specialist that deals with sports injuries. It's good to have that. And also sponsorship does help because are you sponsored right now?
No, unfortunately not. So Godiva, which is the clothing that I wear, they had been sponsoring me at the beginning of my pro career, and then they dropped me unfortunately. But I still have a bunch of great clothing from them that they've given me over the years, and I still wear it in the cage because I'm not gonna remake my whole fight outfit, not until there's a reason to. If I get sponsored by another clothing company, then I'd be happy to represent them. Rev Gear does still sponsor me. They don't pay me, but they give me all sorts of free gear and they promote me. They post about me and uh, so I've enjoyed working with Red Gear, and I've worked with them since they actually originally were sponsoring me in jiu-jitsu back in 2018. Yeah, this is when they started sponsoring me. So they've actually been with me for 7 years, and free. They send me my gis, my gloves, my shin guards, ankle wraps, like everything. So yeah, but Red Gear right now is my only actual sponsor.
Well, that's good you have that. The other company, you know what, forget about them. Forget about them. You know what, you have a fighter like yourself who has talented, who's intelligent, who knows how to fight. And guys gotta say this too. She's party too. So, I think you should promote your talent. My man KL, he agrees when he says, you know, she looks like a delicate flower. She's not that delicate, brother. And also he says this, he says, she sounds like a specialist. Would you want to be a coach one day? You say you own your own gym, right?
Yep.
And how long have you been doing that? That's most of your bread and butter, which pays
Yeah.
for your fighting like that.
Yes. So I've owned my gym for 3 years now. So yes, I am a coach, and I love to coach people, and it helps me be a better martial artist. I have to break down my techniques and explain how to do things to beginners, and also just really pay attention to their body movements and their mechanics, and pick out the things that they're doing wrong, and how to improve different things. It's interesting. Every person is so unique. Their athleticism, the way that they move, the way that they use their bodies, and so it makes me a much better martial artist to have to really pick up on those details.
That's good. It's good that you know how to teach people. You're still learning yourself because, like I said, this is a process. You have to work on your strength as much as your weaknesses. You're good at the BJJ. You might also work on your stand up. Also you did a little of Muay Thai back in the day, and that's also a good skill because you can use knees and the head grab and stuff like that. Attack the body. One thing I tell people, hey, you can always go for the head, but remember the body. Once you hit somebody here, the kidneys, ooh, 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 you can take them out. And
Oh my goodness.
and
Yep.
this is a question I ask you, ladies, especially any competitor in any kind of sport, especially you're dieting, you're eating clean, you like your Nutella, but Joy, tell me, after your last fight, share with me, what was that thing that you had, the thing that you wanted the most, that thing that you desired, the things that I often say make you stranger, but make you stronger.
Yeah. So my best friend picked me up at the airport when I got home from the fight, and we actually went out for Indian food, which I very rarely go out for Indian food. I don't know why. I just don't a lot, but I love all those flavors and spices, and I have no idea what I'm eating or what's in it or even how to pronounce it, like zero idea. But I love a different kind of ethnic foods. So yeah, the Indian food was like clutch. It's so good. A lot of calories in it, I'm sure, but really, really good. Um, and then the following night, then went to the taco truck. I love, I'm in California, so we have like the best Mexican food. Oh my goodness, everything's just like fresh. Like the people at the taco stand, like they barely even speak English. I'm practicing my Spanish. Me das una torta, por favor.
Mucho español, mucho, really mucho McCarthy means that's on.
There you go. But yeah, but like a little bit goes a long ways. But yeah, like I love tortas. Oh my god, like and tacos and you know,
Burritos
great,
and
all of it, all of it.
enchiladas. I think
Yeah,
it's that one where it's corn. I remember her smile. It's corn with I think it was
the
mayo and
elote.
cheese. Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like mayonnaise, so I don't want to eat that. But yeah, hers is good because
yeah.
the fat of the mayonnaise helps with the flavor. But yeah, I mean everybody has their favorite. Instead again, food is both a tool and a weapon. It's not much about it's any athlete. I do like content bodybuilding. Some ladies love certain things. I have ladies tell me one of their favorites. Like one time we have you ladies says that she loves sushi. Like I told her this, I grew up poor, but not so poor where I had to eat cold raw fish. But it's good that you find a balance for yourself as a person in the sport, training, working out, understanding the factors as an athlete. As you know, with Invicta, they're planning on trying to open up the 145 division. And I asked this with the Jamie, would you be interested in doing a Phoenix series if they offer it?
Oh, a what series?
A Phoenix series. They used to do this every so often, especially when any of the titles get vacated. It's a series where you fight for either the title or for contendership for a title.
Oh
They
yeah, so
do,
like the Ultimate Fighter type thing.
yeah, they do it like it's not. It's more, yeah, kind of like Ultimate Fighter, but they do it in one day. You fight opponent. That's your first opponent. You beat them. Then you go, and that's that. You go to the next opponent, and then you fight to see who's the overall winner. I know why I talking game because they still don't have enough women just yet. But you can check with Invicta or we check to Shannon and ask her about it. She'll explain it to you. Or any other fighter who knows about the Phoenix series. They did it with the atomweight division, strawweight division, even did with the bantamweight division. It's But right now, I think because I don't think they're still trying to build back up 145 in Invicta because it's been a long time since they had a champion. I think maybe we might see it maybe by next year, if not by the end of the year. It's a lot. It's really good because you just fight one person once. If they either go by decision or if you take them out, with a submission, you're a submission specialist. That'd be good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so it sounds like a tournament, like a 1 day or a couple day tournament. Yeah,
One day.
totally. Okay, yeah, I'm totally down for that. I love fighting. I love fighting in different rule sets, different challenges. So yeah, absolutely. I just want to get another fight again as soon as possible and work my way towards that Invicta title because that's gonna be a great title to earn. And yeah, and whoever I have to fight next, I'm kind of thinking perhaps myself and Jamie Edenton, maybe we'll get paired up. I would love that. She's a striker, I'm a grappler, so it'd be a fun, interesting fight. But yeah, I'm just eyes on that Invicta title next.
Yeah, like I said, you just want to fight. You want to bust somebody up. You just want to fight. You just want to put somebody in the chokehold. Like Kale, he wants a chokehold, but hey, Kale, we're not doing that today, okay, brother? Okay, all right. But yeah, it's a lot. Here, this is from my man KL. He's a fan. He's a fan. He says, "How far do you see yourself fighting, and how long you been competing?"
So I started jiu-jitsu at 24. That was 11 years ago, so I'm 35 now, and I've
You
mhm.
got you got to just get out of high. You got just when you talk about guy out of college, you got to just get out of college. 35. You got you should be 25. Shit.
Sunscreen. Gotta wear sunscreen.
Nah, see, I've been out in the sun a lot. I get too dark. Sunscreen don't. My skin's like leather now. It's like but yeah. Like I said, you still a young lady. You still got a good ways to go.
Thank you. And I don't have a lot of mileage. I've been really good about injuries. Like I haven't taken any crazy amount of damage or anything. So um, I've always told myself that I'm gonna retire when I'm 40 because I'm not gonna be wanting to put myself through that at a certain age. I think and I do think like at a certain point everybody needs to stop and we don't recover the same way as we get older and older. And right now I still recover fine. But I mean, I have to really take care of myself and be very on top of everything, my nutrition and my sleep and ice baths and all this stuff. But But yeah, definitely I'm gonna fight until I'm 40, and then maybe maybe push it to 45. We'll see how my body feels. So that's at least 5 to 10 more years. But absolutely after, like, definitely after 45, like I'm gonna need to quit because otherwise I'll just go forever. I love fighting so much. But you know, you do, like, there's a time and a season for everything, and eventually it will be the season to transition back into coaching more. And then also, I can always compete in jiu-jitsu at any age because there's all these different masters divisions. So I think the IBJJF has up to like master 8. So you can compete like in your 70s against like other 70-year-olds, you know? So I think that would be really fun. I'll definitely be in martial arts the rest of my life. I just love it too much. I'm a lifelong martial artist for sure. So if I, yeah, if when I retire from mixed martial arts, from cage fighting, then I'll definitely still compete in jiu-jitsu at least a little bit, just to stay active in the sport.
Like one question says, "What's your family think of it? Especially your mom and dad? Because you think about it. Your dad says, 'That's my baby. She's getting hit.' Or your mama says, 'That's my little girl. I'm worried. Come on, baby. I don't want you to get messed. I don't want you to get a nose like this.' You know."
Yes. They were very concerned at first. In fact, when I told them that I wanted to have an amateur fight because I just wanted to try it out and see what it was like, my dad got so mad and he was like, I hope you get your butt beat so bad that you never do that stupid thing again. Like, he was so angry, like, because he was protective, in a strange sort of way. But so I actually did not tell my parents when I started fighting. Pretty much my entire amateur career was a secret. um yeah, they just didn't know. I would be careful about what I posted online, and my parents aren't really online anyway, so that part didn't matter so much. But yeah, I just wouldn't tell them. And then it wasn't until I was actually a professional that then finally my dad was like, very begrudgingly, he was like, listen, if you want to fight, like, I support you because I know you really like it and I know you're good at it. And I'm like, thank you. And yeah, but they don't watch my fights. They've never watched any of my fights or attended any of my fights, nor do I really want them to. Like, that they don't need to. One second. Are you guys closing? Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, I gotta wrap this up. I'm at the coffee shop using their internet, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up. But
Okay, yeah, we won't hold you too long. We do appreciate the time you give us. Yeah, and shout out to your dad. I know it's tough to watch his little girl getting in a fight and fighting somebody. Any father will feel bad about it. I tell you the truth, I don't have children, but I do have nieces and nephews. I wouldn't want them to get something to get to hurt. But if you long as you love what you're doing, you got to love it. Here we go, my man. He's always talking shit. He's saying, like it says, stop trying to be the bodyguard Kevin Costner. Hey, that's me. I always love you. And also he says this. He says, "Do you play fighting video games like Street Fighters and fighting series?"
I don't actually. I've never been a video game player. No.
Yeah, but also this. What I would say this. We're not gonna hold this up. What would you, as a fighter, want for your future?
Well, just to